It's March 10th, 2013, and you just happen to be watching Mods on Air now.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games. Yeah. I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 371 of Mods on Air, bringing you the weekend gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am foyleman, and also on the show. On the show today we have with us Ham. Hello, Ham.
Hello.
And we also have with us Stryder. Hello, Stryder.
So, Ham's that way. Hello,
Yes.
everybody.
It's backwards for some reason. I don't know.
Mirror cameras. Hate
Exactly.
that crap.
Well, yeah, it's daylight savings was last night, so we're gonna have a slim audience and slim staff. Probably watch them show up 5 minutes before the end is here. So yeah, that'll be all confusing and
The end is
going
here.
on
The
there.
end is near.
No mustache? No. So, before we begin, let me remind
No
you all that the
mustache.
show is recorded before a live audience. You can listen in and message about the topics as we discuss them. There may or may not be URLs in the window, so you care to follow along. And for the for other people's links that end up there, you might not want to click them because we don't know where they'll take you and if you'll ever find your way back. And finally, for those of you who haven't heard the show before, there may be some explicit language or adult themes.
Ooh,
Venom?
Disclaimer.
Yes. I shaved this morning. That's why there's no mustache. Okay,
So did I. So did I. I was to the point where I was starting to look like Bushman, half man, half bush. So I figured I better. And now because I did this, it's going to get fucking cold here because it always does.
Yeah.
He's a monster!
So, topics about gaming. Here we go. Yes, that's my spoon. We have...
Well, she just texted me back, just so you know. Because I said, what the fuck? I know you know that DST started today. It's just Ham and I alone with Foyle. Wake up. And he's like, I've had like 5 hours sleep, but fine, I'll be there in a sec. So in other words, he went out boozing again. My summation was right.
It was.
So
That's typical. A
Yep.
Welshman boozing. We have a happy birthday to wish from last Friday to a Ralph H. Baer. I know, he's German,
Ham?
but he turned
Ham, who
American.
is he? Who is he, Ham?
I don't know who he is actually.
Oh.
I know.
Education for Ham.
Yeah, well, he's quoted as being the father of video games. That's right. In 2006, he was awarded the National Medal of Technology. But where did he get his whole thing? Let's see. He created something called the Brown Box, which is, in 1966, pretty much the first console, I guess, that was not released, or was it? I don't know.
It was released in 1972 as the, what was it, the Intellivision?
Well, he made the light gun, so I guess that went along with the Intellivision, so you could do Duck Hunt, right?
Yep.
Oh, Simon Games, as in Simon Says? What is this Simon
like
Games?
the Magnavox Odyssey. It was released to the public.
Magnavox, okay.
Magnavox.
And the first light gun game shooting gallery, and he also invented the Simon handheld game, which was that 4-colored thing, like doot 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 doot. You have
That
to
is the essence of fun.
doot doot. You know what? Back in its day,
That was a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I
He's
said that
nine-
with no sarcasm. That's-
he's
We'll make you
91.
some dough. Yeah. Happy birthday, man.
And
Okay.
good on you. Or else
We owe
we'd
you
still
all.
be sitting there playing with sticks.
Yes.
All right, let's talk today about SimCity.
I don't wanna.
SimCity had a few issues, you could say, this week. It was
Quite
released.
the understatement.
It was sort of released.
Fucking yay.
Yeah.
Yay,
Origin.
disaster.
First of all, it was released, and the game comes out, and people are like, "Yay, let's play!" Oh no, we're having server issues. We can't connect. Probably everyone that listens to this show at some point who has played a game online has had server issues with a game that was released the first time. Well, This was probably the worst of them because the server issues continued and continued and continued. Then comes this statement that I have here listed from Origin. We're making changes to prevent further issues, and we expect, basically they were saying, we expect the European launch to be smoother. It wasn't. It was not better. It was the same. Still problems. People couldn't get in. People wanted to play the game. They can't play the game. They can't play single player. Can't play social player, whatever the hell they want to call it, because it's not multiplayer really. And it was just a horrible experience for all. So what did they do? Well, you know what? I know. Let's start removing some of the features to try and ease up on the server. That really didn't help much either. Also made people a little bit more angry. Everyone was blaming Origin because, you know what? You buy the game on Origin, you going to return it? No, Origin does not accept returns. Maybe if you
EA
bought it in the store, you could.
Returns. Nope.
Right.
Even then, EA is not accepting returns on it. And now they're saying, "Oh, well, you know what? We're going to give you a free game to compensate for this fuck up." You know what? The last thing I would want is another piece of shit EA game on the piece of shit Origin.
That's what you're left with, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a single player game that people cannot play because they, between EA and Maxis, they've decided to move core components of the game online.
Maxis did not have anything to do with that decision. That was EA saying, you know what, this is how we can control it, because typically the sim games are very pirated because there is no online requirement. And so EA, as the publisher, says, you know what, we've got to make it so that more of it is, we're controlling more of what's going on. And so Maxis incorporated what EA wanted, and EA fell down horribly. Which, surprise, everything that happens through Origin is a piece of shit. It's a Origin is the anus of EA. Ooh. And rather than you know, you get this is
what the logo is.
That is
one-way street.
No, I think it goes two ways, because you stuff your wallet in and the shit pops out that they try and feed you. You know what? Don't buy EA games. Don't buy into this microtransaction shit that they're trying to do. Here's a $60 game and it costs you $20 a month to play. And if you want to actually have any bullets in the gun that you've paid and rented, you're going to have to pay 50 cents a bullet.
That was last week's story. Yes. They said,
but exactly
said that.
Fuck you. Don't buy EA games. Don't buy into this bullshit. And it'll stop.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, this represents everything that's wrong with big publishers making games targeted towards everybody. That's supposed to be everything to everyone, and I mean, there's so many layers of problems here, from Origin to single player games that must be played online, to microtransactions, just a whole gamut of issues that are represented by this new SimCity game. And I can't feel sorry for EA. I can't feel sorry for the people who bought this game knowing ahead of time the issues that probably would happen, that did happen. How can you feel sorry for anybody? This should be a lesson, a big lesson to the gaming industry. If Diablo 3 wasn't enough, this should do it. That you can't take single player games and require that people play them online. I don't know.
Yeah, especially if it's not streaming. And you know what? If I go to the store and I buy a disc and it's 2 DVDs worth of game that's going to install itself onto my computer, there should be no need for me to connect to the internet to play this game. Every bit of that is on the on my hard drive, so that no part of that is streaming, other than the fact that you guys just want to control when I play the game. That goes back to Origin and the intrusiveness of it. Now you're trying to, and because people are saying, you know what, fuck you, I don't like Origin. They're saying, all right, I'm going to intrude in a different way.
So let's try to understand this. What was the reasoning, the official reasoning of why they decided to put SimCity online, so to speak, with so many restrictions? Like, what's their justification?
Well, they want the whole thing to be a social experience. They want people to be able to have these plots of lands in a city, which, by the way, let's jump over the game just real quick to understand. We have this plot of land like you used to start out in SimCity if you ever played the game before, this giant square. But you can no longer change it. It's like select this one, select that one, and that's all you get. So you no longer can do any terraforming, changing the terrain, which was a big, big part of SimCity in the past. And now what they do is they also say, now you have this big city, but you can't work in the whole thing. We're going to divide this up into like 10 different sections, tiny little squares, and you get to choose one of them. And watch out, because the menu system's so screwed up, if you choose one and then click off of it instead of saying enter game, you can't get back to it. It's now taken, and you can't enter that area. You have to choose a different one.
Oh, my goodness.
And the idea is that all these, like, 10 different... I think it's 10. All right, let's say it is. These 10 different areas, you can invite your friends to join you in one of these areas. Or you can take them over. Either way. And so that's what they're trying to do with the social play. And so they say, it has to be online for this purpose. Of course, they have other reasons as well. Other benefits, such as tracking capabilities and...
the intrusiveness onto your hardware and
a DRM kind of means of control. Sure.
Targeting ads, because that's what's going to happen. And anything that they and not only that, but then they can remove features.
Like they did.
You know what? Like they did. This isn't working, we'll just turn that off. Oh, that's not working either. We'll just turn that off. We'll turn that off. That way, if it's online, the ESRB doesn't rate it, and they have no requirement to provide what they said they're going to provide because it's online. It's going to change. It's an evolving... Wow, Welshy, you actually look like you're going to vomit.
I look like I'm asleep. I'm so tired, it's not even funny.
Stop staying up all night drinking.
But I don't wanna.
Or just don't go to bed.
What else are you supposed to do?
Anyways, yeah, so they can turn stuff off. If a game is online and it says right on it, you're going to have to be online, then what's going to happen is you now have no guarantee of what that game is. These are features that we thought we would implement in the game. You know what? They didn't work, so we just turned them off. What are you going to do? As a consumer, you've got no recourse.
And EA, one of the people over at EA are stating, oh, well, you know what? We had server issues. It's not fair that people are rating our games based on this. There's a quote of somebody saying something like that. And yes, it is absolutely fair. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we should have ratings. And people are complaining that, you know what, they're rating it because of Origin. All right. I think that's fair, too. You don't want people to rate you based on Origin? Then don't use Origin.
Don't put it on Origin. If you don't like people rating your game because they're rating it based on what Steam is providing, don't put it on Steam.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you're going to put it on Steam and Steam has issues, then people are going to rate your game because of Steam. Or they're going to rate your game because it's a piece of shit that you put on Steam. You interpret that however you want. But for the most case, Steam is fixed. Steam doesn't have as many issues as Origin does. And Steam is a lot less obtrusive than Origin is.
Now let's talk those ratings, those scores. There's two sets of scores for most people out there now. Let's say Polygon is a website. They originally scored it 9.5 out of 10. It was an awesome game. They loved it. But then it was released, and they had to come back and say, oh, holy crap, it's 4 out of 10 now. Because they screwed up so bad. Exactly the point. They gave these media outlets the chance to test out this game under perfect conditions, put it into the real world, and it's awful. So you have a lot of mixed scores. You have 9 out of 10 versus 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 3.5 out of 5, or it's all over the place.
I checked Metacritic last night, and the user score is, I think, sitting at 1.5. And across, I think, about 2,000 reviews or so.
But, okay, so here's my question. If you as the publisher, EA, you have two titles that are under your control. You have Origin and you have SimCity that have to coexist. and you chose as a publisher to release both Origin and SimCity and make them coexist, you are getting rated on your product you provide, and that whole package is the product. It's like saying, you know what, I don't like this car because the tires are flat on the one side. Put some air in, fix it, and then you know what, you're rating the car as a whole. If you go to a dealership, you're going to rate that vehicle as a whole, and if the tires are flat, you're going to say, you know what, that's a nice car except the tires are flat. That's the product you're providing. And if Origin is flat, which, you know what, Origin dug a hole when it decided, or EA dug a hole when they decided they were going to pull all their titles off of Steam so that they could provide that service and garner that revenue for themselves, and they provided a shit service. They tried to improve upon something that had been developed. Like when Steam launched, it was shit. And
yes, excellent
point. It has mostly fixed itself.
What did Origin, they do? What did Valve do? That's also a very important point. When they released Steam and it sucked, they pulled it. They said that, all right, we're sorry. It was our mistake. We're taking it offline, and we didn't see it again for a few years, right?
Till it was fixed. Yeah.
They fixed it
mostly.
Well, EA should pull Origin, fix it, if it's fixable, and then put it back.
This is the problem, is that EA, well, the mass exodus of game studios from Steam as a distribution was so that they could generate their own ones. Because right after the exodus, we had EA Origin, which is just EA Store, which failed when it was EA Store. So now you're going to make it mandatory, call it Origin, and you're going to fail even harder. You've got Uplay for Ubi Games. Activision probably has one, though I don't know about it, because fuck, I would use it.
It's probably coming.
Yeah. Well, it's something. You know what game is going to be on it? That new one that's going to cost you $120 to buy the game and $40 a month to play, whatever that one is. That it's way more than a game. We talked about it last week too.
Yeah,
I can't remember what the hell it's called. Activision's just kind of whatever. Fuck off. All these things that are not efficient in today's day and age. Why would you take a step back in technology, in the way that things are done, just so you can say, oh, well, we've got our own way of doing this. We know that way works, but we're going to force you to do this. Oh, wait, Microsoft is doing that too. We know this way works, but here's Windows 8.
It's about money and control.
Mm-hmm. It's about bureaucrats, corporate people making decisions instead of how it started.
And you know what? I agree with that. I believe that the entire gaming industry has gone from as far as the big developers or the big publishers go from wanting to, or not even wanting to, but publishing a game that you know is everybody's gonna be talking about this game, and they're gonna be talking about it for a long time. We're gonna have this game that's just gonna be awesome. And what do they want? We want a flash in the pan that everybody's going to talk about until our next flash in the pan. And how can we do that? Oh, well, we're going to release DLC, and we'll charge for the DLC too. That way we can make more money off of these people that are buying games that aren't done and don't work and all this stuff. So, yeah.
Speaking of which, there's day one DLC for SimCity, isn't there?
I don't know. I think that you might.
How did that work?
Well, you could have purchased like two versions. You could have purchased.
But they turned that off,
basic
didn't they?
or the big. I don't know.
I'll have to look into it. I do recall going to Origin's website just to sort of get a little information and seeing there was like buy the something pack for SimCity, and I was like, but this game just came out today, didn't it? And that was one of many packs I thought I saw.
Yeah,
SimCity
where you can get
Day
extra
1
characters or buildings or something like that. Yes.
Yeah. And I just, they're trying to put this. I think they're going to try to fit the same model for the Sims onto SimCity, where you get these little, just sort of small packs of things, or just maybe full blown expansions. But these are all things that probably should have been in the game to begin with. I don't know. I've never been a SimCity fan. No, I just don't get into those types of games, but I try to keep myself abreast of what's going on, just so I can reasonably talk about it. And from everything that I've learned so far, this has just been a step backwards in so many different ways. And they've tried to turn SimCity into Farmville, is what it seems like at the end of it all. And it's backfired immensely. But this is the future of games, according to EA. So, hope you're ready for the future.
Okay. So there's our sum up of SimCity. Hope you didn't buy it, and if you did, very sorry. Super Sword, hey man.
Super Sword.
Wow. All right, let's talk a little bit about GameStop. GameStop is out there saying that what is it exactly? 60% or more of video game consumers would be less likely to purchase a new console if it did not play pre-owned games. Therefore, we are so important, we have to keep our business going and sell pre-owned games. There's a little bit more to it. If you have a console and you install a game, you would like to be able to install it on that console when you have to replace it because it red-ringed. That's another thing. Or when you upgrade it, or when you change the console, you want to be able to play. It's not just the fact that people want to turn around and go to GameStop and buy someone else's old game and then play that, and not have any money go to the publisher for it. See, I can see both sides of the coin, but I think I would rather support these studios. I know some of these studios are big, but you have to also consider these indie developers who are out there trying to make games and sell the games. Is it fair that they make a game, sell it? It's not a bad game, but perhaps you decide to turn it in, get an extra $1, and use it to buy a different game. And then when that game sells again, the publisher doesn't get any money off of it. So they sell half as many games because there's a used market out there. On the other hand, it is good because people get to make a statement.
Stop charging $70 or $60 for a game that isn't worth it.
Right. People get to make a statement by returning the game saying it wasn't worth keeping.
But, it's like, what if I wanted to sell my car? Ford or whoever my car manufacturer is shouldn't have a say in that. Like, I shouldn't be locked to my car in the sense that I can't hand over my keys to anybody. They can't use my car, or I can't sell it back to a dealership because I bought it, and once I own it, it's just mine forever, and that's just in the terms. That's silly. Same for like clothes. What if what happened with clothes, and I couldn't take it to a secondhand shop because I'm under legal obligation to only wear that. It doesn't matter if I outgrew it or anything. Mm-hmm. It just seems like, but for video games though, no, that's absolutely the case. Once you buy it, it is yours, and you can't give it to anybody else, no matter if you play it or not.
But that's just like them saying now, because now they're saying, oh, well, they're trying to restrict used media, not just games. So you go and buy a DVD, you watch it, and you watch it, and I say, okay, hey, you got to check this DVD out. I send it to you, or say you live a lot closer, and I just say, hey, watch this movie tonight, and I can't do. They're trying to stop you from doing that, so that if Ham's going to watch that movie, he has to pay for it.
Yeah, it's like
it's a money grab.
They're doing it. Yeah. It's a money grab, and they're disguising it around the fact that they want to try and stop piracy that isn't actually piracy. But
you know what? I'm tired of them fucking tooting that piracy.
Yeah. That's what it is, and that's if you ask about it, that's what they'll say. Oh, we're just trying to stop people stealing our games. No, you just want everyone to buy a copy because that way you make more money.
And I disagree with your statement that games don't wear out, Foyle.
Well, how?
Because if a game is sitting on if I play a game and I play it to the end and it has no shelf life, it has no longevity, and it has no replayability, that game is worn out.
Right, but you can always sell it back.
So now,
clothes once they wear out, you can't sell back.
Now a game that has no replayability is now a coaster.
I mean, you make a good point that the games don't necessarily degrade in quality post use, But
unless they patch awesomeness like SimCity.
Yeah. But there's a certain, I forgot the actual word for it, but there's a certain community that quickly builds up around a new release and then sort of starts to taper off and eventually it dies down. And once that community is gone or has died down to the point, to a certain point, in a sense, it is no longer as valuable. It's like, hey, somebody may see some value in this, so I'll sell it to a place that brokers use games. But personally, I don't have any value. It's degraded personally to me.
Right.
And I mean, I understand. Like, yes, you can make copies of certain things, and those don't degrade. But I think the other side that publishers are taking is just unreasonable. This idea that we want to enable this feature where you can't give away or let people borrow games. Let's get into that point. I don't know. It's just I don't have all the answers, but I think these people's solution is just absolutely crazy. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy.
Stop selling used games or we'll have you arrested.
I just met you. This is crazy, but there's the kitchen. Bacon pancakes, maybe?
All right. Okay, something else going on out there. Speaking of putting out things that over and over and over until they lose all their value, we have another hint coming up for Battlefield 2142 sequel.
Yay!
That was my favorite Battlefield game. So
yeah, but it won't be the same.
No, it won't. I know. Here it is. This is an assumption, of course, but it's some sort of flying thing in a game that was some sort of Easter egg, and they're trying to figure out what it is. But yeah, there you go.
Looks
I
like
don't know what it is.
2142.
Exactly, 21 or 2143 or whatever it is, because they saw something. They saw the numbers 2143 scrolled on a wall somewhere in one of the games as an Easter egg. So they're thinking that this may have something to do with the game, and they're suggesting that Battlefield 4 may be shown at GDC this year. So I'll let you know when I'm there.
Hype machine crap. EA grinding out more crap. EA is the new THQ.
Are they?
Yeah.
EA is the new THQ. I don't. Yeah, maybe. I think they have too much money to go under.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop them from shitting on a disc and selling it to people.
No. I don't know yet, Super Sword. Okay, here's another one. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider totes up here 1 million players in 48 hours, they say. And, which I don't actually have in front of me, it's getting great reviews.
Yeah, I've seen generally favorable.
I mean, they're not SimCity reviews, but
that's good for them, right? So it turns out that maybe this game is pretty good. They also say that this thing will be the new series, the new Lara Croft that is going to bring the series forward. So if they do, which they probably will, create more series and more games in the series, that this will be the path that they take, following with this. What they're saying is a 21-year-old Lara with this kind of attitude, and throughout the game, throughout the future of the game. I really want to play this game. I don't have time, so I'm not going to run out and buy it right now. But if this thing comes up on sale, I'll definitely jump on it. I hope Steam grants me on it.
I'm not playing it until there's bikini armor skins or nude skins.
Isn't there always with Lara games? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still under threat to not buy this game, or I'll have to find a new place to live. I don't know.
What if it was gifted to you?
Then I probably shouldn't play it.
Oh, all right.
I don't know what it is, and she's not the only person who's a woman who absolutely hates this new Tomb Raider. I guess they feel, I don't know, betrayed because
Threatened.
Tomb Raider was a badass, and now she's a frail deer killer.
Which, you know what? It was kind of funny because I got a Mrs. Ham commentary in the background as we were playing Guild Wars, and she was upset that we were killing certain creatures.
Yeah. Why would you kill that tiger or jaguar?
Why'd you kill that? Because he was killing us.
It doesn't matter.
Sit there and watch me play because I run around shooting rabbits.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Now that rabbit wasn't doing anything. Well, no, he got caught in the crossfire. It was the wrong place, the wrong time. It was a drive-by gang shooting of the rabbit.
Casualty.
Well, let me mention some of these reviews here. We have, let's say IGN, if you care what they say, is a 9.1, amazing. Some others are out here with 100, 86, 70 from Game Reactor Sweden, but Swedes also gave SimCity a great review. Then we have user reviews with 9, 8, 7. One person gave it a 3. I see here.
Go ahead.
I think that these people never got a pad in their hand in their lives except for playing COD. For all these people that are rating it highly, they're saying if you like COD, you're going to like this game.
What?
You know, actually, well,
it's
interesting to say that because from what I've heard, the presentation is good. You know, it looks great, it sounds great, blah, blah. But they tried to do a story that was kind of, you know, it's a struggle, and she finds it difficult because she has to kill people, and you know, but the actual gameplay makes you kill about 8,000 guys.
Right.
It's like it's the Spec Ops thing again, where it's like they tried to do the exact same thing. Like, you know, should you trying to get you to answer these philosophical questions, but then completely destroying anything by going, now kill 800 people in a row. But don't worry about it, because you won't, because you'll be so desensitized that you don't care.
I see. You'll notice the quote I also posted into the chat window there. So, yep.
During the shooting, you never die. Enemies never shoot at you.
That's
they
what
always
this person
miss.
said. Maybe they
When jumping.
put it on easy.
Oh.
If there's a yes, press A to win. Thank you, guys. Stryder, that's your game, right?
Yeah, but pretty soon they'll be taking away the A button as well. It'll just be insert disc to win.
Insert disc to win. Congratulations, disc inserted achievement.
Yes.
This console will red ring.
Yes.
I did read the one review I skimmed through said it was a nice game when they allowed you to actually play it. That was sort of the big takeaway. So I gathered there are a lot of sequences that you just don't have too much control.
That's not a lot of fun.
That's what the comparative to Call of Duty is then.
Yes.
Cutscene.
That's why.
Every time you take a step, congratulations, new cutscene unlocked. Take another step. Congratulations, new cutscene unlocked. Would you like to broadcast your recent performance to all your friends with this new PS4 share button? I don't know what to do. I've just taken a step and watched a cutscene. What should I do? Take another step. You'll get another cutscene. Ah. Why didn't I think of that?
Sure, it's in the strategy guide.
I can't stand the strategy guide.
Sometimes I wonder why these companies just don't go and just make a movie. If you're going to do this, just make a movie.
That's what Activision's
Because then
doing.
everybody would realize how big of a failure they are.
Yeah.
It's
All right, let's get some more Welshy input. Wake up a little there. Arma 3. Arma 3 is going to be a Steam exclusive, and Welshy's been hinting towards its awesomeness.
Oh yeah. If you pre-ordered, you get access to the alpha. I don't know how long it lasts. Actually, think about it, but it was this week, like 5th of March. It starts. You also get invites for next week. I think I get like 2 or 3 invites for people to play for free, play the alpha, and that starts next week. But yeah, I'm seriously loving it. They've done a lot of work. Like straight off the bat, the controls are so much better. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, now you only
anyone
need
that's-
3 keyboards.
Well, no, it's
don't
still,
worry.
there's still, if anything, there's more buttons actually. Yeah, to be fair.
Exact.
But the controls
They should-
are so much better. It's now you can actually move about more like a conventional FPS, I guess. Like it's not like your legs are made of wood anymore, and you have to walk around like a puppet. You know, there's a whole, they've reworked the whole stances. There's about 6 or 7 stances now, from ranging from sort of like completely prone to completely standing up straight, but you can kind of punch down slightly lower and lower. So the idea is that in the previous games you only had 3 stances. It was either fully standing up, crouching, or prone, which caused problems when you'd be behind a wall or something, and then you get up to run, and you, as you stand up, you expose like the top half of your body. Which, if you played Arma, is basically like painting a giant neon sign on your head going, "Please shoot me." So now they've brought in kind of like stances in between, so you can kind of get up and run, but keep your head down. So you're running, sprinting basically, but you're below the line of that wall, which is actually unbelievably cool when you know. There's another stance where it's a step out stance. You can be behind a wall like this. You press Control and A or Control D, depending on which way you want to go, and he just steps out with his foot, like this.
I see.
So you've got to,
Fewer keyboards, more key combos.
Well, see,
yeah,
and
essentially.
that's what I was going to say. You got Arma, the whole series. Typically, a game comes out. It's got like, oh, buy this special mouse, buy this special keyboard, and it's got this overlay that tells you what all the keys do. Arma 3 would have a layover that you would have to flip through depending on what you were doing. Oh, I'm running. Grab that tab and flip it up, and I gotta fly a helicopter. This tab, it's fucked. There's just so many controls that you have to know. Arma, the series is a very, I'm not going to say elitist, but it's a very specialist type of game because there is so many different controls to remember for every different thing that you do. It's like it's like they said, Welshy, you've got free reign to come up with whatever you want if you're walking around. Ham, if you're in a Jeep, you got the whole keyboard, man. The Jeep is yours. Foil, you're helicopters. I'll take planes. Somebody else can take tanks, and none of them are the same. Like even remotely.
They are the same. Like WASD is always the same. The general buttons for like switching weapons and stuff is exactly the same.
When the first Arma released, was it WASD? I don't think it was it?
I don't think it was.
I have no idea. But aside from the controls, it's they've reworked the engine. It's DX11 now, which just looks phenomenal. It looks insane.
A lot of the screenshots I saw at a quick glance, if I didn't, if I stared for maybe a second versus like 3, I would think it was a photograph. It
is all very, very close to photorealistic now. They've actually got physics now as well, which is, you would think that would be like a normal thing to have, but in Arma 2 there was no physics at all. So now when there's ragdoll physics to when you shoot a guy, he actually falls over as opposed to going into a kind of stock death animation. So that's cool. Now you can throw a grenade and blow people up and they get flipped up in the air and everything. And vehicles, when you crash them into each other, you don't just immediately stop dead like you used to in the other one.
Physics going on?
The alpha. Yeah, the game actually has physics now, which it never used to. The alpha comes with the editor. Modding has kind of just exploded for that. There's already a ton of missions. There's already people are starting to port stuff over. Like they have their missions and stuff there. I believe the Ace mod is pretty much in the works already. I believe somebody's actually ported over a map already, but I'm sure people are putting together maps as we speak. But yeah, overall, and it's like if you want just the standard edition that gets you the game and everything that comes with it, I think it's about £24.
$50, $50, $60.
Wow.
Yeah, around there, which is pretty cheap considering today's standards.
Wow.
This from the guy that just got like a $100,000 raise, and it's pretty cheap by today's standards.
24
Yesterday I
pounds
was
is
a lot
36
poorer. So.
US dollars.
Yeah, it's about 36.
24 British pounds is 36 US dollars.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it's like
cheap.
20 Canadian dollars then. American dollar ain't worth shit.
No, it ain't.
37
Yes.
Canadian dollars.
I haven't used 6 update, Igor, but I've used Play with 6, which works. Which is essentially like the reworked version of that. It's like the idiot-proof version.
So,
But yeah, like I was playing user-created missions last night. We were,
Wow.
we
The
were
alpha, that's
creating
awesome.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
we and the thing about Arma is you can be in a server and the server admin can actually create missions in the server, if you see what I mean. So like you'll all be connected to the server waiting to play, and he'll be just like, all right, let me just throw some guys down here. I know we'll put some trucks here, and we can, I'll throw in some triggers and script a couple
Pretty
one or two
incredible.
things, and then we can, and then just hit play and we can play it.
So it's very quick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the second game had that. That's not actually new. That's always been in there.
Very cool.
And then it's like you play that one, and then it's like, all right, let me just flip this around, and I don't know, we'll put some more guys here and take some guys off here, and I don't know, we'll put a truck by here, and then hit play again, and just play the new mission completely.
that sounds awesome. This might be the armor that's right for me.
Well, just on the fact that they've reworked the controls to make it easier to play is just a godsend. It's unbelievable.
I
Like the smoothness of it compared
have
to what
been
it
easy.
used to be is just so much better. It's you feel like you actually have control. Like something Arma really didn't do very well was close combat fighting. It was very, very difficult because the controls were so clunky. It was quite difficult to actually, like, if a guy ran around a corner, it was really quite difficult to actually shoot him while he was close to you. Now that's completely changed because now you can just snap into your sights and just mow him down before it's.
And this is good to hear from somebody who's played previous games. And what you're doing is you're going from an old control scheme to a new control scheme, which can be very jolting.
Well, the cool thing is what they've actually done is put presets in the controls, and one of them is a preset for Arma 2.
Yeah.
So you get all the nice new animations, all the nice new like lean outs and stances and everything, but on the old control scheme. So for me, because like they switched around a load of the buttons and stuff, and things were different, and you like G used to be gear, open up your gear and see what your items you got. In the new Arma, it's actually grenade. So you can see how that causes problems for like people who play the set, since you can't see pressing G and throwing grenades on the floor and blowing yourself up. So it's so it's cool that you can kind of switch the buttons back, and it's just like you just tick a drop down. I still might puke for it. I'm seriously, it's been such a long time since I've been excited about a game. 'Cause for the last like 2 years, it's just been like, oh, this is shit. This might be good, but it probably won't. Nah, and I played the alpha, and it's just amazing. We played it yesterday, a group of like 6 of us, and it was just awesome.
Except someone had lag.
Except someone had lag. That person would be me.
Hey, B.
Yes, Breezy, how you
Hello.
doing, man? Glad you came. I know you didn't realize it's a DST. Not surprising.
Dumb, stupid time.
I know, I can't stand DST. It's ridiculous. Okay.
Well, right now it put us back to what it should be, I think.
It should be, would be. I don't know. Whatever.
No, it's
So-
the same. It's the same time for us, but it's an hour forward for him.
No, but isn't this where, like, in the spring we go back to where time actually should be, and in the winter is where it goes back an hour to try and get us more
Should be?
daylight.
Really? Should
I
be?
think so.
I mean, which calendar are we basing
As long
this
as they'd,
on?
but I mean, as long as they'd stop fucking with it. But they keep fucking with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather it just, you know what? It's 6 o'clock, and then my body says, you know what? It's 6 o'clock. Year round, it's 6 o'clock when 6 o'clock comes. None of this. Is it 6 o'clock in the spring or 6 o'clock in the fall? where there's an hour difference. That just
That doesn't work.
That's not
'cause it's
Ben
always
Frank.
0 o'clock.
6 o'clock is beer o'clock. Or were you saying AM? Anyway,
Doesn't
hardware.
matter.
Let's jump over to some other stuff. Steambox. Steambox is supposed to be the Steam console. Well, anyway, they're working on that, and they're working on Valve time, so expect it when it comes, I guess. I don't know. They have the different prototypes heading out. Now, they have this picture up here is what we saw as a potential Steambox, which is basically a tiny computer inside of this really small box.
really
Pretty neat
small.
looking.
That is as long as an iPhone.
We don't know that this is going to be what it is. We don't even know. Are we even sure that this manufacturer is making the Steambox?
They're accepting pre-orders, or for this Piston,
Yeah.
at least.
For this as a computer, not as a Steambox.
Right.
Yeah. Which you
That's
can
just-
get for between $1,000 and $1,800, depending on what hardware you want in it.
No, wait. I saw cheaper versions. I went to their website and saw cheaper versions.
My question is if you're giving out the ability or making available the ability to have different versions of this, $1,000 to $1,800 for this little microcomputer that we're running, it's supposedly the same processing power as what we've got in our conventional systems. We've got huge towers to keep these units cool and efficient. What is this going to have? It's gonna turn into a frying pan. The amount of thing that heat's going to punch out.
I saw the pictures of it out of its case, and I wonder what hardware was in there. Like, what is it actually running that's going to enable me to run the games that I currently have, with
It's a 3.2
similar
gigahertz
performance?
quad core.
Okay.
Pretty good. 128 gig SSD, 8 gig of
Okay.
RAM, only 8 gig. I wish there was more in there, but you can get the upgraded version with 512 gig of SSD. That's only going to be double the price. And other than that, I don't know what else you're getting in this.
How are they fitting all that into that one small? Maybe it's because it's vertically. I don't know.
It's a small unit. I saw a picture of that piston, and it had an iPhone sitting beside it. So it's only 5 inches long.
Mhm.
Which, if you're going to judge that, that's 4 inch by 4 inch by 5 inch, and you're jamming an entire PC into that. Call me skeptical, but I mean
Yeah,
that thing's a fire starter.
No, you're right on with that. Like what Morphus is saying, that it's an egg poacher, pretty much. Well, if one of the things they hinted towards was that they're having heat issues with it.
Duh!
Just state the obvious.
What genius come up with that conclusion? I mean, I could see that just looking at it. You know what? We're going to take all these components that generate exorbitant amounts of heat that we usually put in a large case that is extremely well ventilated, and we're going to put it in something and give it a little.
Steambox is an appropriate name.
On the
Yeah.
upside, though, if you're playing Guild Wars for hours, you can keep your coffee hot.
That's
There's
Fuck.
no problem with that.
Yeah, won't have that problem. Thank you for pointing that out. That's and yes, and I can see an advantage to that.
surely
My
people
coffee
looked at
always
the
goes cold.
Xbox. Surely people looked at the Xbox, which is typically bigger than that, and went, so that overheats like fuck. Let's make the box smaller.
Does it say what the graphics capabilities are with this thing anywhere? What's in there, or equivalencies?
I didn't notice the specs. Let's see if this happens to say it. I already told you the 3.2. I think there's an NVIDIA card in there, but
Okay.
a GeForce. Wait, no, that's what it's smaller than.
It's not going to be
Smaller than a
something silly where
GeForce
you've got
card.
to plug in external cards, is it?
It's an AMD quad core.
That'll be funny if it's
So it
all
might be an
external.
AMD.
Oh, really? An AMD quad core?
So it might be a AMD video chipset too. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's going to be fun for people who own that. Because anyone that knows a little bit about having an AMD graphics card, there's always driver issues.
Yes.
Always.
and they'll always optimize games for Nvidia, but barely even touch AMD. Have fun with that if your game's got PhysX.
He's not bitter.
No, I'm not. I've never had an AMD.
You know what? I was an AMD fan for a long time. I finally had to give up on it just because I had so many problems
Same
all
here.
the time. Every game, problem. I did, and you know what? I wanted to support AMD. It was a Canadian company that did good, and you know what? Fuck. I went green, and I haven't had one issue.
Yeah.
The entire computer is smaller than a GeForce GTX Titan.
Well, to be fair, that $1,000 Titan.
To be fair, my head is bigger. It's smaller than.
Expansion is limited to larger capacity SSDs. That's it.
I'm patiently waiting to see what the first round of reviews of this thing are going to say. Not that I don't believe that this sort of processing power and capability is available, but I look at my big old desktop here, and I look at that and I say, like, how is it possible that that thing can get similar performance to what I'm running here? I don't see it yet.
And the one thing that Engadget is saying that there's people are looking at different prices or different solutions to a Steambox, which is going to give you the same type of stuff. You go and throw this out. You can throw this micro PC or these mini PCs into your living room. They're just as unobtrusive, and you get a lot less problems.
Mm-hmm. Well,
this is 3.5 inches wide. That bolt, 3.5 inches wide and 14 inches tall.
Okay, see, I'm showing a picture of it within a guy's hand, so that should help.
I can see
That's
people
Steambox,
buying them, stripping them down, and putting them into like PC cases.
For what though?
Yeah.
So that you can have an unexpandable.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
either
like
build or buy your own PC.
You see people buying Xboxes all the time to do that, where they buy an Xbox and then put it in a PC case.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. It's like, well, if you're going to do that, why do you just not build your own PC?
Because that's too tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm waiting to see what this whole Steambox confusion ends with. Because right now it's just kind of confusing. Everybody has slightly different information. Everybody is not quite sure what it's going to look like in the end, and we don't know.
Yep.
But
well, I've got GDC coming up, and what we need to do is we need to be able to play videos. So we didn't want to be bringing our giant computers or laptops or anything. We're just playing videos. We're going to go there. We're going to have a booth. They're going to give us TV and stuff like that. So what do we go out? We go out to Amazon and look up and find this $40. Actually, it's less than $40. This mini PC. Let's see if I can get this picture in here, but you can't see it in somebody's hands, unfortunately. And there it is. It is probably the size of these two memory sticks put together, and it plugs right into your HDMI port. It's basically a little Android. It's almost like an Android phone. It's just this tiny little thing, plugs right in, done. So we're gonna carry our our show PC with us in the pocket.
really,
It even has USB out, so that you can plug things into it.
so that's you all going to go with that?
Oh yeah, already got it. Already tested it out in the office.
And it works well.
Works
You
great.
should have bought when we were at PAX the first year. You should have bought that HDMI projector.
Projector. This was $40. What was that? That projector was.
That was 200.
200.
It was 200, and you know what? You were on the border of buying that. If you would have walked by it one more time, I know the cash was coming out.
It was close.
It was actually pretty decent because it was smaller than an iPhone, and you could plug it into your iPhone and project.
That's right.
HD video.
I'm still laughing at those little mini laptops they had at PAX. I was sure you were buying one of those.
I love that origin. I look at it every couple months. I keep loading up the website and like, ooh.
Because like he did the interview and I was filming and I'm kind of standing about. I don't know,
He's
5 feet
drooling.
away.
The guy's like, "Don't drool on the laptop, please, sir."
Yeah. And I'm like standing there and I'm like tweeting as much as I could because the internet was so terrible. But I'm just like, and I'm looking around and I'm just staring at you like, if you could have had like hearts in your eyes and like that, it was like, I want one. I need this.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Nice laptop. Okay. We hit our hour. That's our show.
All right.
Unless you guys want to talk about something else in the list. Or bring up something that's completely different.
Go get some.
Go buy Arma 3, play the alpha, support the development. Yeah.
Nah.
I agree.
Nah.
Do not buy SimCity.
I am not pre-ordering a game ever again. Period. Never. Ever.
That's easy to say when you're working. When you're busy
Until
working.
World 3 comes out.
Yes.
No. I'm still the last 4 games I pre-ordered. I have been so disappointed with. Not gonna happen. I'm done. No more pre-orders.
None at all?
None. Zero.
When you get a cool toy.
I'm not into the cool toy. A cool toy. What do you think I am, foil?
No, I'm not that crazy anymore. I took a step back. I'm trying to think
took
of the
a
last thing
step
I bought.
back.
I don't know.
That
was literally the only way to get him to buy things. So it comes with a figurine.
Step back. There's more to that step back than just I'm not ordering games.
All right.
Oh.
So that's our week. Pretty good show, I think. And if you missed it because you got
I think it was the best show ever. Really, I do. It was the best show ever. More of you people should be watching. What's wrong with y'all?
I don't know. These people.
They don't like to have a good time, apparently.
Yeah. For a good time, call Ham. He's slow.
All right, so I'll wrap things up here, and I will thank our host for taking the time out to chat on this specially timed episode of a day. Thank you very much, Welshy, for getting up and joining us, even though we had to wake you.
I wanted to sleep more, but fine.
Oh, bull! Now you're up. You're going to play Arma.
Yeah, we got your day started.
Maybe.
Maybe it's already running.
Yeah. Thank you, Ham, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Breesy, thank you for joining the call.
You've got to tell me about these time changes.
I tried, but, well, I don't know.
They are kind of known worldwide.
Right.
But yeah.
You've got yours in a couple weeks.
Tell me nothing.
So, yeah. Look it up. All right. Anyway, Stryder, thank you very much for joining us today and for posting some notes as we went along.
I was here. I had nothing better to do.
Oh, awesome. Yes, you did. You have the money to make. Okay. Finally, I want to thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com, and the few of you that subscribe. There should be more, because you make the show possible. And until next weekend, everyone, have a great day and happy gaming. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners. And...
It's those shapes on the screen that means that PlayStation. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, it's Mark Kearney. We don't want anything to get between you and the game. Here's some stuff that gets between you and the game. It's got RAM in it. We've got a new controller. It's not like the old one. It's got a touch screen and a share button and a blue bit on the back. Here's a big fiery Viking bastard and a simulation of what the world might be like if clouds are actually made of Viagra. And we made a game about a robot made of gold-plated Toblerone. Forget about that though, let's talk features. It's got a power button so you can switch it on and off. We fixed our rubbish patching system. Check it out, kids. Social social media, video capture, live streaming, boys with beards. We already know what games you're going to buy because you're a bunch of predictable bastards. Now here's that bloke who made Earthworm Jim. Stream online demos of any game you like. Virtually invite strange men into your home. Be that dick that tells people how to play games under the guise that you're just trying to help. Cloud gaming lets you be a condescending prick without even having to leave your house. Look at this stuff you can do with PS Vita. We really would like it if you buy a PS Vita. Television! Guff, 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 guff. What the hell happened to Tamim's hair? Be a dragon in your house. Be a dragon on the train. For the love of God, don't stop pretending you're a dragon. Light bulbs! It's a blank canvas that you can make anything you want with, says the guy who only makes Gran Turismo games. My name's Michael Denny, and I'm proud to announce that my face is entirely rendered using Unreal 3. Let's go on a lovely holiday. Boom! Blue and orange. Guns, guns, guns. Ropes. I've got a really big thing for cars. It's fucking weird. I just want to touch them. I just want to be with them. I keep worrying that the leather seats aren't real enough. Maybe the police are actually the bad guys, and maybe the real world is actually a bad place, and maybe security and CCTV are actually bad, and that's why we made a game about superheroes. I'm Jonathan Blow, and explosions are shit. Let's have a look at some colours. It's David Cage to talk about the future. The future is an old man with lovely eyes. Hey guys, we've worked out what the Move controller's for. It's all about letting people make clay penises, or trees, or sheds, or staircases, or doing puppet dances, or doing live music performances like Rock Band. I don't fucking know what's going on. What was I talking about? Ono! I'm Ono's translator, and I really resent the fact that I'm here. It's our brand new engine, Panta Ray. It's like a manta ray in pants. Dragons! We're Square Enix, and here's a video that we released last year. But wait, we've got one last thing to tell you. At E3, lol! Cell phones aren't just for taking pictures of kids. You can use them to hack into cash machines and saxophones or cause traffic accidents. Oh my god, it's news from Blizzard! Oh, it's Diablo. Who gives a fuck about Call of Duty? We've got Bungie making lovely clouds. Relight my fire. Your love is my only desire. That's the end of our PlayStation 4 show. We forgot to take a photo of the flipping console. But don't worry, it's just gonna be a black box. Bye!
That's a great summation of the PS4 release.
2.5 hours in 2 minutes.
Love it. I love it.